When you're raising kids while managing work, home, and everything in between, stress shows up quickly. And one of the moments that makes your heart drop is when your child comes home one day and they tell you that they're being bullied. Your body reacts, your attention sharpens, and you just want to understand what happened and how to help them feel safe again. And it usually starts with something small like someone was being mean to me, or I got pushed, or they won't let me sit at the table. And those simple statements just feels like a gut punch. Bullying is aggressive behavior among school-aged children that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. It can be repeated or have the potential to be repeated. And children who are bullied often experience shifts in mood, sleep, appetite, motivation, and of course, school performance. Research consistently shows strong links between bullying and later anxiety, depression, and self-harm. And all of this reinforces one thing: how we respond matters. If you'd like simple guidance on stress, parenting, and emotional health, you can join my email list by visiting my website. I send 1 or 2 thoughtful messages a month and tools that you can use right away. So before we talk about what to do, let's talk about the automatic reactions that most parents have when we hear that our child is being bullied. The nervous system reacts instantly because parents are wired to protect their children. Developmental neuroscience shows that when a parent senses their child is in danger, the brain's threat detection systems activate almost immediately. The amygdala becomes more alert. Cortisol rises. The caregiving circuits in the brain move us into action. This is an instinct that is ancient. It kept children safe long before we had schools or policies. So when your child comes to you with a painful story, that flash of anger, that fear or urgency is a sign of your protective wiring doing what it was designed to do. The key is learning to notice that instinct and respond with calm. And this way your child feels supported instead of overwhelmed. And here are the responses many parents fall into without realizing it, and what to say instead. So number 1, we ask, what did you do, right? And this comes from fear and urgency. You want the full story, but what the child hears is blame. So instead, say, thank you for telling me. That took courage. Or thank you for telling me. I'm glad you came to me. Also, you want to make it clear that it's not their fault. You can say, you didn't cause this. What happened is not your fault. And this interrupts the shame children often internalize. Another thing that we automatically might say is that, why didn't you tell the teacher? But this is because children may feel embarrassed, scared, or unsure. And when you ask them this question, it can make that feeling worse. So you can say instead, that must have been hard. I can see why this upset you. Let's figure out the next step together. And by saying this, it lowers their stress and creates that safety. And this is actually why I wrote Hello Flutters, because kids feel emotions in their bodies long before they have the words for them. And when they understand those sensations, they understand themselves. And that gives them a little more courage to speak up when something feels wrong. The third thing of what not to say is, I'm going to the school tomorrow and I'm going to fix this. And this reaction comes from protection, but it can make kids feel powerless. So instead, you want to say, how do you want to handle this? Because this invites their voice and builds agency. Research shows that when kids participate in planning, their confidence increases and they become more assertive. Number 4 is just ignore it. Most parents say this hoping to help their child move on, but ignoring bullying rarely stops it. Instead, you want to say, let's talk through what happened and find a way forward that feels supportive for you. If there are threats of physical harm or repeated incidents, reach out to the school when safety is at risk. Early action prevents escalation. So you can say, I'll help you. We'll talk to the school together. Bullying becomes even harder when a child doesn't understand what their body is trying to tell them. When they can name the flutters, the tight chest, the heavy feeling, or the fast heartbeat, they feel less alone and more able to ask for help. And that is the heart of Hello Flutters. The last one is, don't let them see you upset. This can make children feel like their emotions are wrong. Say instead, it makes sense that you feel this way. Your feelings matter. I'm here. So what you're doing here is you're validating first, always. And after that, you help them plan the next steps. You can ask, what can we do to help you feel safer tomorrow? And ideas may include walking with a friend, choosing a different route, identifying safe adults at school, or joining activities that build connection and confidence. Strengthening their support system is really helpful. So you can ask them, who do you feel safe with at school? Right? Friendships are one of the strongest protective factors when it comes to bullying. So you can help them name one friend and one trusted adult that they can turn to. As a parent, your presence is the most powerful tool you have. You don't need to be perfect, and your words doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need immediate solutions. You need to be calm, you need to be open and connected. And when you respond with a calm attention, your child learns that they don't face this alone. Hard moments do not define them. Support and connection do. And if this was helpful and you'd like occasional guidance on stress and parenting, you can join my email list. I send 1 or 2 thoughtful messages a month with simple tools that you can use right away. And if you'd like a story that helps children understand their emotions, my book, Hello Flutters, is available on Amazon. The link is below.